Hi there, and welcome to episode 2 on Let's Talk Wellness podcast, a podcast that discusses wellness as a multidimensional concept that involves all facets of life designed to empower you to lead a wholesome wellness journey. I'm your host, Shalini, a tech professional, passionate wellness junkie, yoga, meditation, and a health coach with a desire to leave this world better than I found it. Today, we will discuss the concept of primary food. Before I jump straight into it, I want to give a little context on integrative nutrition. When you think about wellness, I'm sure the first thing that comes to your mind is diet and nutrition. Of course, it's critical, but when I did my IIN health coach certification, I learned there was much more than just the food on our plate. Integrative nutrition connects the dots between physical, mental, and emotional wellness. Nutrition is a key aspect of health, but it's just one part of the health equation. By focusing on nourishing each one of these dimensions of holistic wellness, you can show up in your life as the best version of yourself. In my first episode, we discussed the concept of bio-individuality and why it matters. If you have not listened to that, please listen to it because it's critical to understand that before you dive into primary foods, so you can draw parallels and get a better understanding because each of our bodies are unique. So, what is primary food? I'm sure you have heard, just as food is needed for the body, love is needed for the soul. For example, you can eat millets, lentils, greens daily and run or go to a fitness class in the evening. But if you're stuck in a toxic relationship or a job that you hate waking up to, then you're just not going to be truly healthy and happy at a deeper level. Primary food is more than just what's on your plate. It is what's off your plate. It is also what nourishes you off the plate. If you think about a recent 2024 study, happiness has dropped so sharply among the youth in North America that young people are now less happy than the old. Those low scores pushed the United States out of the top 20 for the first time since the report was published in 2012. Over the last few years and this year, the number one happiest country is Finland. What was surprising? There were 3 things that stood out as reasons. Number 1, we don't compare ourselves to our neighbors. We acknowledge that each one of us leads a unique journey and we are good enough. 2, we don't overlook the benefits of nature. We spend a lot of time with friends, family, and community in nature. Last but not the least, we don't break the community's circle of trust. We build deep, meaningful, trusted relationships, whether it's our neighbor, co-worker, or friend, or anyone in the community for that matter. In Helsinki, 11 out of the 12 wallets were returned to owner. And in a lost wallet experiment that was conducted, testing the honesty of the citizens, they had dropped 192 wallets in 16 cities around the world, returning back to the owners. So if you think about this for a moment, you will realize there's much more that brings joy, happiness, and wholesome nutrition that's off our plates. So primary foods, they fall into four broad categories: relationships, physical activity, fulfilling career, and a spiritual practice. These four core areas can fill your soul and satisfy your hunger for life. When you have this right, then what you eat and what's on your plate is secondary. When it comes to primary foods, the impact on our well-being goes way beyond what you can measure in calories. Relationships, for example, are like vitamins for our soul. Relationships provide us a sense of belonging, compassion, and love, which is so critical for our emotional well-being. Personally, I find fulfillment through community. Today, people are often busy leading fast corporate jobs and on social media or gadgets. The concept of extended family has diminished compared to our previous generations. So it's all the more critical for us to find friends who can listen to us when we hit rock bottom, or celebrate when we do well and inspire us. Take a moment and reflect on one or two people you truly would like to spend time with. And maybe it's time for you to rethink your circle of relationships. Number 2 is physical activity, movement. As you all know, most of our studies show us regular exercise and movement are essential for a healthy body and mind. It could be walking, dancing, playing sports, yoga, anything that will boost your mood and reduce your stress. Getting those endorphins high is critical, especially when most of us lead a very desk job or a sedentary lifestyle. For me personally, movement is critical. I thrive when I'm busy and active, either doing my walking, my yoga, or my strength training or cardio. When there are days that I go on vacation and I'm just unable to do any of this, I simply indulge in just walks. And the body craves for it. We all sit for extended periods at our desks. So it's all the more important to stretch or even walk around at least every hour, even if that's just within the office. It could just be as simple things like using the stairs in your building or walking to the bus or the mailbox. Walking can go a long way if you're not able to get any other rigorous physical activity. Again, think about the concept of bio-individuality. What type of exercise keeps you going and works for your body? And what time of the day works best for you? Third, career. Finding satisfaction and fulfillment in our work is crucial, again, for our mental and emotional health. A fulfilling career provides us with a sense of purpose, accomplishment, financial stability, so we can lead a more balanced life. Think about it for a second. Today, most of us easily spend about 8 to 10 hours a day working, taking time off from family, and we sleep about 7 to 8 hours. So really, we have only about 7 to 8 hours left in the day. So when we spend so much of our time, shouldn't we enjoy what we do? I know quite a few stories of friends where just leading that sedentary lifestyle or working long hours and stress have resulted in a lot of health issues or weight gain. So think about it. What do you like or not like about where you are with your career. Is it the type of work? Is it the commute, the environment, or your manager? Change is hard for any of us. But if your career is not helping you lead a wholesome life, it is time to rethink. Last but not the least is spirituality. Exploring and connecting to our beliefs, values, and purpose in life can truly bring a deep sense of meaning and fulfillment. Again, it goes back to what works for you. It could be spiritual practices like meditation, a prayer, or just mindfulness that can nourish our souls. Spiritual nutrition, in my opinion, goes much deeper, where we are not so easily disturbed as much with external, superficial, day-to-day challenges. When we connect to a power beyond us and surrender the self-doubts, there is a force clearly beyond us that keeps everything going around us like clockwork. From day to night, from night to day, and so much more. Sometimes we need to let the universe guide us and have faith and trust. Again, each one of us could connect with spirituality very differently. For me personally, it's the time I spend every day on meditation, pranayama or breathing, chanting, and prayers. Again, in all of these 4 categories, it is very important to listen to how your body will react and accept what works for you. Each of us have a circle of life. Imagine a wheel. The rims are each held up by spokes, and your wheel has spokes holding the wheel together. To live a wholesome, fulfilling life, your spokes have to be supportive enough to withstand the weight of the life your wheel is sustaining. Sometimes spokes need repair to strengthen. Other times, they're sturdy enough. Similar to this analogy, based on which phase of life you're in, your focus on some of these primary foods out of the 4 categories that we talked about, one could outweigh another based on where you are in your life. The point here, be aware of your own primary foods and how your body reacts to each of them and where you personally are in the journey, and prevent anything before your wheel breaks apart with you standing stranded, not knowing what happened. As I conclude this episode, hope you now know a bit more about holistic, integrative nutrition, significance of bio-individuality, and primary food. What's off your plate? With an understanding of primary food now, here is an exercise for you. As you take a few moments to assess the above 4 areas of your life, what stands out as out of balance? Pick just one for now and bring mindful attention to it over the next few days, weeks, and months. Sometimes just realizing and accepting that it's okay for something to not be right is okay. Just learn acceptance with grace and space is the first step to reclaim balance in the area where we need it the most. Please do like, subscribe, follow, and let me know if you found this useful. Follow me at Coach with Shal on Instagram and stay tuned for future topics and guest speakers.